on the wall, what is the most strangely controversial cartoon of them all?
High Guardian Spice.
Oh. What even is a High Guardian Spice, you might be asking? This is a show that came out in October of 2021, but it was supposed to come out in 2019, actually. It is a American animated streaming television series by Ray Rodriguez on Danger and Eggs. I haven't seen it, I don't know. So it was produced by Crunchyroll Originals, but you might be like, hey, I thought you said it was made in America. It is, which is why some people were kind of confused because they were giving their money to Crunchyroll in hopes that it would support animators in Japan. So that was the first like, hey, wait a minute, that a lot of people were like, that's kind of strange. So moving on from there, you probably initially heard about this show because of the kind of messy launch video that they did. It looks like it's brought to you by Internet Explorer Studios, and we don't really get to see a whole lot in this trailer. And I was personally very excited about the background designs. Those look cute. We'll put a pin in that and get back to that later, though. A lot of people were upset about things that people had said. One of the people on the team in particular was less than kind on Twitter. But now that we have that information out of the way, let's dive right into the pilot. I'm going to sum it up for you. I watched this so you didn't have to. But if you want to, definitely go check it out and make your own opinion. I just would love to sum it up for you in my magic mirror here. Let's get started. We start off this wonderful adventure with pink hair and blue hair. Pink hair's name is Rosemary, Sage is the blue hair, and they're going to magic school, which they talk about just, I'm excited about magic school. Me too. And that's most of the dialogue, I guess. It can be kind of funny at times, especially Pink Hair has some funny line deliveries, but both of their voices are incredibly generic and everyone sounds like everybody else. I love that like campy 90s Sailor Moon voice acting, because like even if a character's off screen, you can definitely tell who's talking because they all had a very certain way of speaking.
You're right. They are good. This just proves that things that look bad can be very sweet. You see? I told ya. You're so rotten to me!
Okay, this is not Sailor Moon. Please don't think of that. Think of more of like, it's kind of a Steven Universe, a little Bee and Puppy Cat, and definitely some Adventure Time in there too. Like I said, it's an American production. It's not really anime, but I guess that's also kind of up for debate. Anyway, Pink and Blue are going to magic school. We run into their family. We get to meet Blue's family. Blue's family is like, oh, my sweet daughter, you're gonna learn some magic. And daughter's like, uh-huh. And then Pink family, they're like, oh, you make your mother so proud. I love that you're wearing her locket. And it's like, oh god, a locket, really? All right. It's just like, I feel like it's not even a magic locket. Anyway, we're gonna learn more about Rose Quartz mom. She has a rose quartz mom and she's missing, I guess. This is her brother. Her brother has got really cool hair. I wish her hair color was that color. Overall, I kind of wish a little more of this was more pastel-y. This is kind of an eyesore some of the times. Anyway, parents are proud, can't wait, we're going off, and they just kind of like, you know, go on off to magic school. So our first trek here at magic school, we get to see the magically transforming scale of this bus, which, oh my, this took me like out of it. I actually like had to take a picture and send it to my brother. I'm just like, what? I guess this is the magic they were talking about, because what is this? What is that? Like, oh god. So as an animator, I want to just like jump in here and say, hey, you know what? Animation's really hard and really expensive, especially if it's an American production where you send it overseas. You don't really have control over a whole lot of like the mistakes, or there's only a certain budget to, you know, fix certain mistakes, and you gotta like pick your battles of like which one's going to be the most noticeable, because there are, you know, like different communication problems that you can have between the studios in like South Korea versus in America or Canada. And yeah, that's a whole thing, but holy moly, you guys, this is just not good. It's not still enough like an anime where it's like, oh, but they planned ahead and made the shots really interesting, or they really embellished it so you feel like you're looking at something gorgeous while you don't really notice it's not moving. And it's not like an American cartoon where it moves like really like flowy, at least. It's like a weird in between of like they didn't want to try to move it, but they also didn't want to embellish it with interesting elements in general. Anyway, we're going to magic school. Magic school? I'm excited for magic school. So we're going to go to magic school. I don't even know what a high guardian or a spice is. I know pink hair wants to be a guardian. Karate! And blue hair wants to be like a magician. But her parents like old magic, but she's interested in new magic. We kind of see what that means a little later, but not really. Don't get attached to that idea. From the transforming trolley, we go to this like mountain hiking thing, which is pretty cute. I think they had something like this in Hawaii, or maybe it was the Alps, something like that. So they go up this thing and they just kind of reminisce about, oh my gosh, our home looks so little from here. It's such original dialogue. It has so much nuance, and I've never heard that before. And I'm just kind of like, I think it's a cool idea with, you know, the going up the mountain. That's an interesting kind of transportation. I just wish they did like air, land, and sea. This is mostly just like land and land. So they're gonna go up this mountain thing, and the weird thing is they keep talking about how different their new environments are, but everything looks exactly the same. Everything's just kind of this like Rothenburg ab der Taube looking Germany French kind of village, stereotypical like magical realm. There's no personality to it. It's just, what do you think when you think of like a magical village? Here it is. And it looks exactly like her hometown, which I guess kind of looks a little more like the Bunny Burrow from like Zootopia, I guess, but there's no sense of like there's these farmers and then there's these city folk. I wish they went to somewhere like that was a winter wonderland, like an ice castle, so it was like very clearly like culturally different, or at least visibly different. But anyway, they're reminiscent about how different it's gonna be. Then they go on a train and they train away, and they bring this like treasure box pet, which I guess is probably the most original thing in this show. I wish they could have done like a little Momo or something from like Avatar, but yeah, I don't know. That wouldn't be original either. He doesn't do anything. Kind of like blue hair. No offense, blue hair, but this show would not be different without you. I'm sorry. I didn't write this. Moving on. They meet their cousins at the train station. And yes, you heard cousins. I listened many times and they keep saying cousins.
They're girls and cousins too.
Like they're both her cousins. They're clearly more than cousins. But I'm like, I kept listening for it. I'm like, no, they're both her cousins. And I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't think that's what you meant.
We're cousins. We grew up together.
Huh?
We've been inseparable since we were born. We can almost read each other's minds.
Like best friends?
I'll probably have to like triple listen to it, but I don't know.
Leave it to me, cuz.
Okay.
Anyway, they're cousins. They went to their house. I like that we go to like the cousin's house because I like that we don't just like jump right into being like in the dorms or something like that. We get to explore in the town a little bit. They have a magic room, and the elf cousin is like, oh, hello, like, you know, here's my new age magic. And blue hair's like, oh my gosh, new age magic. My mom says I can only do old age magic. I'm like, this is so boring. It's predictable. But we carry on. All right, so they go to sleep for the night in their cousin's house, and pink hair has a nightmare about rose quartz mom and something about her sword in a field and her family. And wakes up and blue hair is like, oh, the nightmare again? And then they just kind of cuddle, and that was really pretty much it. Next morning, the cousins are like, hey, good morning, y'all. And pink hair... This also must be the magic they were talking about. Just eats this pile of never-ending cookies. Like, it doesn't look like she's taking any cookies. None of them are going away. It just, oh my god. Not to mention the bread. We love the PNG of bread on top of the characters. This is something I really don't like about this show, is the backgrounds do not suit the characters at all. It's kind of a Good Dinosaur type of thing. I just feel like the thing I was most excited for in that weird preview that we had was the backgrounds. Like, whatever layout artist did them, they're great. unfortunately, they look like they were screenshotted and then like sent to a production manager, and they screenshotted it and then they sent it to production. And like, why are they so bad quality and kind of blurry, and like not in the intentional like it's the background kind of way and we're focused on the foreground characters? I'm like, why does this look so bad? Like, it doesn't suit the place at all. It doesn't look like these characters exist in this environment. Anyway, I'm gonna try to talk more about the story, because we gotta get going on this story. This adventure continues, you guys. After stuffing their faces, the girls are ready to go. Let's go out on the town. Let's explore this place. What kind of strange rules will this society have? What are the people going to be like in the markets? What kind of shops are they going to have? What kind of magic rules this town? Do the cobblestones flip over and create like magic patterns or something like that? These are all great questions that we will never have answers to, because they go to just like the town from Beauty and the Beast, I guess. Like, whatever. It's just a regular town with German-like houses, and they don't really do anything or go anywhere. I do like this joke right here.
Maybe it's got rabies. Come on, Sage. Do you want rabies?
I think some of those lines are very well delivered. Otherwise, it's pretty just straightforward. No nuance or anything to anybody's voice acting or anything like that. So they chase the critter, they go into town, they do nothing, and then there's this magical... I'll stand corrected. There's this magical thing that's just taken over the town. It's called Everybody in the Background Frozen. They don't move. Just don't move. I'm sorry, but it's just, it takes you so out of the moment. You're just like, what's wrong with everyone?
Sir or madam, are you alright? Do you need medical resistance?
Everyone just like mid-action. Like, why not at least have them like snoozing in a chair or something if they're not gonna move? Like, their mouths aren't moving. There's no like looping action that they could be doing, like ever so slightly like stirring. No, they're just frozen. It's the curse. It's called the budget. So we move on from the weirdly still people to her locket getting stolen by this parrot type thing, because they're like shiny stuff. So it takes her very special locket, and this is actually kind of funny setup and payoff kind of joke that they do, where she's like, what's so important in there? And she's like, a picture of cheesecake. And she's like, what, really? Like, and then it turns out later that she was kind of burying what was really in there, which is a picture of her mom. Can you believe it? Anyway, so they have to chase this little guy, this little like Digimon, and they're chasing him, and then they see that he's using it in his nest, like one of those birds who like put straws and stuff in their nest, and they do like a dance. And I kid you not, fellas, this goes on and on and on for like ever. Like, I'm so bored. Like, I don't care. What does this mean? Like, I understand we're kind of like exploring the magical creatures and where to find them kind of thing, but oh my god, this is so boring. It just keeps going and going and going. And pink hair's like, let's do something about this. And blue's hair is like, no, let's watch. And I'm like, let's not watch. Can we do something interesting? So we bump into this girl who apparently is one of the main characters, but I never remember seeing her at all, like, being promoted. I remember pink hair and blue hair, and then like dwarf girl with the lederhosen, and that's pretty much it. So I'm like, who dis? I don't know this girl. So they keep bumping into her. She's like, watch where you're going. And they're kind of like really rude to her too, but like they did bump into her like multiple times. So they finally retrieve her locket after it was broken by the Digimon, and they take it over to this outdoor garden space where we get to meet the lederhosen girl. Hooray, lederhosen girl. She sounds nothing like I thought she would. Her voice really took me out of it once again. She kind of talks like she has her mouth full of mashed potatoes, and she's trying to talk around it. I just kind of thought she'd have a cuter voice.
What happened? Did you get run over by omnibuses? All my life, I was handed a rivet as soon as I figured out how to curl my fingers on purpose.
She's pretty cute, I guess. She has like a million brothers, and there's kind of a joke about that, I guess. I don't know, but she's a blacksmith apparently, and I think she's going to the school to study blacksmithing, but I'm like, you're already a master blacksmith, then like, I don't know, maybe go for like English literature or something. I don't know. She's super nice. She's like, oh, I'll fix it up for you, no problem. And then I think that's pretty much it. We meet all her bumbling siblings. I don't even remember her name. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna call her Buttercup. Buttercup. That's a cute name. All right, Buttercup. On their way out, they bump into Snobby Girl again. She's like, we can't keep doing this. And they're like, oh my God, step off. And so then they go back to their cousin's house.
They're girls and cousins too.
They tell them like, hey, like we had a great day. Go to bed, wake up. It's time for school. They clutch books. I don't know. Did they go shopping for books? Did they look for books? Nope. They have books. That would have been much more interesting to go to a magical bookshop instead of following the Digimon for like 20 minutes. Anyway, so they look at the school and they go, oh my gosh, it's so big. Can you believe we're here? Wow, you're right. It is. It's just like the driest dialogue. Like they have nothing to say. And I'm just like, okay, well, show us the school. Like, because we're looking down at them at this angle where it's like you can't see the school. They're like, it's like so big. I'm like, okay, well, show us. Like not in like a dramatic kind of way. It's just kind of like frustrating. I'm like, oh, okay. Like it's not a big reveal. They show it and it's like, oh, okay. It's like, it's magic school. It doesn't look interesting or cool in any particular way. Yeah, so they just look at each other, nod, and they're like, yeah, magic school. And that is the end of this episode. And what is this? What is this? What is this? This is so cute. Excuse me. 911, yes, hello, who did these end cards? And the beginning card for that? Put her on the payroll full time. This is adorable. It has a lot of character, personality. The color choices are great. It's really expressive. The background really, really works. Maybe it wouldn't work for like a whole show, but like maybe like a chibi short or something like that. Oh my God. If they had this talent at their fingertips, like promote this girl. Promote this person. Whoever they may be. Girl, you rock. Keep doing you, boo. They should have made the whole show look like this. And that was the pilot episode of High Guardian Spice. We still don't know why it's called that. It's the Guardian Academy, I guess, but like, is it high school? I don't know. We don't know. So we met Snob Girl. We have pink hair, blue hair, who we follow throughout, and then we have a Buttercup, little one. And I believe that we're just kind of like, from here, we're going to like go to school and like go to dorms. And there's definitely going to be like a mean girl and maybe like a cute boy or something like that. Overall, it's definitely not an offensive show. It's just kind of lazy at best, I guess. The visuals are not quite there. It's a lot better than most things out nowadays in terms of like color, and it looks fun, but it's just not interesting and not, I don't know, the color choices aren't amazing, and I think it wants to have its own personality, but it doesn't really know where to push, I guess, because I think the jokes were pretty funny, and they kind of pushed there of like, you know, what's an acceptable thing to say in the situation, or what's funny or obnoxious, or, you know, things like that. But most people are just kind of like a cardboard cutout, and they move like them too. So overall, I think what they could have really improved on is, first of all, story. I can see where they set it up where like, look at all this transportation. We're going to go into town. We're not going to go to school right away. All excellent decisions. I don't think we really saw that like show who they are. Like, take for example, like other shows that you really enjoy and how their characters were first introduced. You get a really good sense of how two people are presented with the same problem and they react differently because they're different people. They always say that like monsters aren't monsters. They're, you know, conflicts that bring people together to make choices. And I feel like we just had none of that. Pink hair is spunky and blue hair is shy. Like, that's it. Buttercup has lots of brothers. And Snobby is snobby, I guess. But they're all going to be best friends at Hogwarts School of Academia and Witchery. So, I don't know. I honestly didn't think about this much after I watched it. I'm like, oh yeah, I have to do a video about this. And I'm like, oh, what did happen? So, it wasn't really attention grabbing, but honestly, it's like a harmless watch. From an animator perspective, like I said, animation is whack. The scale is whack. And story-wise, it really grinds to a halt when we get to the Digimon part. I'm just like, I don't care. Why didn't we go like shopping or, I don't know, exploring a fountain or like something that would have been more fun? I'm glad we did pretty naturally introduce ourselves to all the other characters and everything like that. Overall, did you watch the pilot? No, I guess you don't really have to. Did you enjoy this, or were you kind of weirded out like I was? Well, that does it for this little review, I guess. Looking back at the pilot, I guess go check it out for yourself, Crunchyroll, and let me know what you think about it in the comments. You can kind of tell I didn't really rip into it because this is like a positive space. I just wanted to like tell you guys the story and just kind of like strange choices that they made and a little bit of that, you know, background about the creators. So please let me know down below what good faith criticisms you might have about the show or anything like that. And yeah, I'll see you next time at High Guardian School. We're gonna study English literature. Shout out to our patrons on Patreon, Impro Comics, Nadir, Justin R. Williams, Javier Mendez, and Nico Weaver. If you guys would like to join our friends on over there, you can go to patreon.com/Bubblegum Cartoons. You guys really help me make this show, and I really, really appreciate your support. If you do not have the means to join our Patreon, don't even worry about it. Just share this video with your friends.